Hello, my name is Lillian, and I am decided to do the objective theory approach. Basically, this theory is basically I'll be discussing what it is and who it is and how people use it in either in the professional world or your everyday life. The objective approach is an assumption that is singular and is also accessible through sensory observation. One of the key theorists of the objective approach is Glenn Sparks. He is a behavioral therapist or scientist, and he conducts experiments basically by applying the scientific method to describe, predict, and explain the human behavior. The theory of objective approach and its theoretical orientation is how someone comes to their conclusion and what they do to fix the problem. The objective approach is basically getting to the bottom of the issue right away by not beating around the bush by say as other as sometimes you find people do that. Uh, Mainly being people being therapists, or you ask for a feedback regarding a some kind of paper or maybe just a conversation or something, and that person just beats around the bush and doesn't tell you the truth. Objective approach is the direct opposite. It that allows people to get to the bottom of things right away or pretty soon, not kind of right around the yeah. Some of the theoretical traditions I have found out of the objective approach theory is the cybernetic tradition. This communication as a system of information, as well as processing and the social networks and systems. So, a good definition of objective approach is feedback that is good and very constructive to what the other person thought and what they thought they would like to hear. So I really like the objective approach. Um, in my everyday life, I sometimes am not the greatest at taking it. Basically, I don't I don't like to be critiqued. I mean, I do, but I don't. I need to work on that. But most of the time, I think an example of an objective approach in my life is by, I would say, when I'm cooking and I I think I can do everything myself. Like I said, I'm still learning. I can cook a lot more now. I didn't used to be able to cook a lot at all, but I would say like whenever my husband would come into the kitchen and help me, I would basically kind of shrug him off, be like, no, I don't need your help. But now I'm kind of getting better. I'm like, okay, this tastes way better than it would have been if it was just me following the directions to the T. Um, I would also say another example of how it fits into my everyday life and also probably many others is turning in assignments to your professors or at work or something like that, then the superior supervisor or professor or teacher, whatever, will then critique your paper, assignment, whatever, give you some constructive criticism, just basically letting you know what you could do better or if you did really well, maybe something if you were too detailed or something like that, maybe some other comments to dial it back some. I guess one example I would have would be last semester I did take a history class, a Russian Revolution class, and we had to write a research paper. I chose to write mine on the February Revolution. Um, and once I was done with my rough draft, I sent it over to my couple of my friends, and I just had them proofread it and make sure that it was good, and I didn't have any grammar issues or um, sentence issues, anything like that. Making sure the information was good as well. Um, I would also say that most of us have objective approach in their everyday lives by simply just leaving the house. Most people probably wouldn't even know it, but yes. So, particularly me, I do like having good positive feedback. I don't typically like bad feedback. So, but I will take it and I get better, and so that's me and the objective approach.